Welcome, everyone. In case you forgot, I am Jo Hahn. I'm one of the brand new practitioners, and I'm honored to be here. Thanks. So for those of you that are with us for the first time today, there's packets in the back for you that explain a little bit about science of mind and what it is that we believe in and what we have to offer for you. So if you raise your hand or just find one later, make sure to take one of those with you. And this morning, I'm so honored that we have Shems with us to play music. Shems is one of our members and board members and a good friend, and I believe it's his first time playing for us today. So, Shems, thank you.
It has been about 30-some years since I've done something like this, so bear with me. I picked up the keyboards because I was having a hard time finding anybody else to play with. So sometimes my left hand and my right hand and my head don't know what they're doing, but we're having a good time. Jamming, you know? Okay. Kind of stumble into a song. I know a child with a pretty little nose who laughs from her heart and she dances with her toes, dances in circles, round and round, turns the whole world upside down with peace, with peace. Peace, peace is in her eyes when she looks at the world. There's no disguise. Peace, she can breathe it in her lungs and roll it in a jumble off the tip of her tongue. You know, peace is inside everything. You got to mumble and stumble before you can dance and sing. Planted in the garden and help peace grow. Then walk it to the forest and let it go. Peace. laughs with her heart and she dances with the toes, dances in circles, round and round, and turns the whole world upside down with peace.
Thank you. That was beautiful. So I'd like to welcome you to the center, and we have a vision here, and it's up behind us, but we are here for you, and we are available for you. We want to inspire and empower people to live a spiritual, fulfilling life. And if that's what you're interested in, you're in the right place. As the practitioner, I'll be available for any spiritual mind treatment prayer. After the service, I'll be by the bell. So please come see me. If there's anything in your heart, anything that you'd like prayer for, I'm available. So right now, we're going to invite up the children. And as we do that, let's all turn around, wave to the camera. We've got lots of great people out there. Come on up, kids. We want to sing you a really special song. Lots of kids. They're going to have fun. Okay, so I'd like to thank everyone this morning that is a big part of making this happen, and we don't always see these people. I want to point out Joey and Lindy in the back, and we have ushers and greeters and reverends and practitioners, bookstore, kitchen cookies. It's a huge list, and so I want to make sure that we thank them for being here. So this is a good time to make sure that your phones are in some type of mode that won't do something crazy and stay quiet. So whether you want to silence those or airplane mode or whatever works. I'd like to tell you what's coming up in our center here that's available for you. I'm so glad we had Shems here because the first thing I want to talk about is the Spirited Music Jam that he runs every month. And this is with, it's led by Michael Harris, Shems or Steve Smith, and Margot Francoise. This will be Friday, October 4th from 7 to 8:30. So we meet here and have a spirited jam session. The focus is on creating harmonies with instruments and discovering through being centered in music. So come have fun and join us there. There's also leadership awareness. This is a conversation with Jules Sanchez on Saturday, October 5th from 9 to 11. And these, if you miss anything I'm saying, they're posted on the back. They're in your little pamphlet. They're on our newsletter. But This is a really important part of being diverse in our centers, and it's a safe zone in a unique specialized training. It's presented by NorCal Outreach Program. And this is an invitation to have conversations around LGBTQIA2S+. So there's a lot of civil rights movements going on and ways that we can sow our cultural competencies in relationship to the community. If you're interested, pre-registration is required, so you'll want to email Lori in the main office, or not the main office, but in our beautiful office here. New Moon Circle is coming up. This theme this month is the exuberant quietude. I had to be quiet after saying that. The herb is passion flower, and this is with Lori Buckman on Saturday, October 5th, 6:30 to 8:30 in the evening. It's a minimum of 15 females, and we meet as women in circle, and for centuries we've been setting intentions this way, and so we do this around the moon and align with a divine intent. There'll be a gong meditation with Jones Richards. That's Tuesday, October 8th, 6 to 7:15. The sounds of gongs create a deep sense of relaxation in mind and body, which facilitate your own inner healing and a profound journey through your inner landscape. That just sounds very centering. We also, for the LGBTQIA group, we have a social and peer support group here. It's called the Rainbow Love Circle of Connection, and that's with Christy Carr, Friday, October 11th, 6:30 to 8:30. And lastly, we have a workshop that I'll be doing called OMG, which is one monthly goal. And I'm so excited to do this. I've had full circle coming back to our center after being at other centers, and this is the center I started at, and this will be my first workshop here. Something I really enjoy talking about is how we can live with intention, how we can find a way to make our goals come true. So my father was a really very colorful person, and he always gave me these little mantras or affirmations, and he would often say, you have to have goals and dreams. And he would finish with, you don't have to even attain them. You just have to have them. You have to have goals and dreams to have a fulfilling life, and that has stuck with me. So let's think about that. If you are you fulfilling your dreams? Is this something that you'd like to have part of a workshop with us? What about aspirations for your life? Are those being fulfilled? Is there something that you'd like to change? Are you making the same resolution or goals every year over and over? Or do you want to find a deeper purpose? These would be great reasons to come to the workshop. It's a change of mindset, and I just want to throw in there, this is the easiest, most effortless way that I have found to attain the dreams, the intentions, and the goals that we have. So let's live our best lives. Come, I will have some food from our farm and some drinks and a good time. You don't need to bring anything. I have all binders, workbooks, pens, pencils, whatever is needed. So, right now, Sue would like to talk about another really important event that we're doing here. Thank you, Reverend Sue.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is a special day. It's Friendship Sunday, and some of you brought potluck in the social hall, so we encourage you to enjoy that. And what I'm going to talk about is last week we started our prosperity drive for our center as we prepare 2025 budget, which all that, some of you might just go, oh, and shut down here. But stay awake and stay involved. one of our mottos is together we can do so much. And we do need one another to allow this center to thrive in 2025. Thrive in 2025. Maybe I've got a new motto. So on the back table is a flyer that we put together that shares some of our intentions and some of the things that we accomplished this last year and things that we vision for in the following year. And I hope you take a chance just to browse through that. There's also, you've gotten in the mail, the prosperity commitment cards for your intentional giving. And Dawn and I will be at the back table there to answer any questions that you might have about that. And each Sunday this month, we have one of the board members that have chosen to come forward and give a testimony of why they choose to support this center. So it's a more personal invitation to all of you. And I wanted to invite Dawn up. And she's got something to share with you from her heart. Thank you, Dawn.
Good morning, everybody. So as we start this second week of the pledge drive, I wanted to invite you into my understanding of a pledge and invite you into an even deeper way of supporting the church than just thinking about keeping the lights turned on, and even more profound than just maintaining a building. I want to invite you into pledging in a way of making a deeper commitment to your own spiritual growth. Because in times like this, we look out around the world, things feel turbulent, they feel so uncertain and heavy, and if you're like me, you're feeling this call inward, this call to something deeper, to something deep peace, deep love, and you're feeling this tug in your heart to deepen your relationship with Spirit, and maybe you're feeling like this is the time, there's that iconic thing, you're the one that you've been waiting for, and pledging is like putting skin in the game. And it's like putting money on the table and saying, I'm ready to step up right now. I'm ready to start committing to the growth of my soul. Because we know that the law is simple, that where your energy goes, grows. And if we want our spiritual lives to flourish, if we want to see those inner gardens bloom and blossom, then we have to water them. We have to tend to that soil. You have to show up. You have to put your intention into it. It doesn't just happen. And so taking a pledge isn't just about giving to the church. It's about choosing to invest in the garden of your own soul, to nourish the ground on which you stand. And it's a way of saying, I'm committed to my spiritual growth as a soul, to show up for myself, to know Spirit in a deeper way. And this is the place I want to come to do that work. We all face hard times, loss, grief, confusion, moments where we wobble or we fall. And in those moments of darkness, where do you turn? Where do you go when things get dark? And having a place like this is like having a lighthouse on those stormy days, to have a place where you can sit in silence, to talk with Spirit, to pray, to seek answers, or to simply just find comfort and peace. And this place has been a lighthouse for me and my family for the last 30 years. When I was young and my family was going through some really tumultuous times, this place steadied us. It was people like James and Andrea and Sue who reached out and grabbed the hand of our family and walked us through some really dark times. And I believe this place changed the trajectory of my whole family. And in youth group, that was what laid my foundation, my spiritual understanding that carried me throughout my whole life, and the ups and downs of teenagehood and my 20s when I hit my first understanding of loss and grief and was really questioning my faith. My feet found my way back here. And this is where I came, and this is the community that held me while I walked through that. So whenever I felt the call to deepen my relationship with Spirit, my feet always lead me back here. So that's the reason, the reason that this place has been a beacon of light to so many people who have been walking their journeys, who find their home here, and who come together to keep that fire burning, not just for themselves, but for each other. So today, as you consider inviting yourself into a pledge, I invite you to think of it more than just supporting the church, but about creating that spiritual safety net for yourself, for your family, for everyone who walks through these doors. And it's about feeding the flame of that lighthouse that will guide you on your darkest days, lift your spirit every week, give you refuge to learn, to grow, to sing, to celebrate, to be in spirit together, and to deepen your understanding of your own heart. So if you can give, please consider giving, and let's keep the light burning. Thank you.
I'd like to offer you an opening prayer to bless our time together. So I invite us to settle in and find an awareness in your breathing. Deepen your breaths and leave behind any of that busy in the mornings. We have arrived. We are here now. And we feel the presence of Spirit with each breath that we take. The divine, the universal intelligence, God, love, whatever we call the One, just know and feel that it is in you, through you, and as you. It is this knowing that keeps me in gratitude, that this truth is for us to use in the co-creation of our lives, in healing. For love is the grandest healing and drawing force. Feel that love for yourself. Feel that love for another. Feel that love for all the beloveds in this sanctuary and those connected to us online. With this prayer and with gratitude, I bless our time together, a time of love and peace in our souls, our lighthouse. I like that. I release this prayer into the universal mind, knowing that this is already so. And together let's say, and so it is. Thank you.
Beautiful setting, isn't it, of what we're about to hear. So thank you so much, Johan. And Dawn, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Thank you. So it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today. A lot of you know her, so it doesn't take much of an introduction, but Reverend Kat is here today to talk to you about her passion about peace and knowing that peace prevails. And she is an ordained Unitarian Universalist minister, but she's also affiliated with our center. And so we're very lucky to have her wisdom and her connection to our center. And also, just so you know, she has little business cards, but she is a very powerful spiritual director and a private practice. So if you wanted to connect with her for some personal counseling, she's the go-to gal. So with that, I want to welcome her to our platform. And she has something very special, as you can see. Aren't you excited? Something different. Oh my gosh. come on forward, Reverend Kat.
Well, it's always wonderful to be here and wonderful to be welcomed. I appreciate that in our culture, we express gratitude with a clap. But what I am wanting today is to weave sacred space together. So if you're willing, at the end of my time with you, if you feel so moved, I'd invite us to hold the silence, and if you wish to express appreciation, I enjoy the Girl Scout wave. Let's just try it together. All right, thank you. So our theme today is Let Peace Prevail. And I want to say that I have a lot of trust that everyone who is listening today or throughout the week, in person or on YouTube or wherever you might be, if you're drawn to be here, I'm really confident that you want peace to prevail. And I say that knowing that not everyone on the planet feels that way. I understand that there are many people who feel that staying in conflict, fighting for what you believe in a way that is assertive and aggressive is what we need to do. But I really don't think they're hearing this. So I'm talking to you, I'm talking to us, those of us who want peace to prevail and whose question is, what gets in the way? A few years ago, I was a keynote speaker at a conference at the Stebbins Institute in Asilomar in Monterey. And on one of the breaks, another one of the speakers came up to me. I honestly don't remember his last name. He was Fred the Forgiveness Guy. And Fred was a professor at Stanford, and he'd written a book on forgiveness. And so we were just chatting, and I said, well, that must be wonderful. He was going around giving his talk. He said, actually, I don't know how much longer I can stand to do it. I said, well, why is that? He said, because everywhere I go, I get the same response. People come up to me afterwards, they say, that was wonderful. I am completely and totally in favor of forgiveness, except in my case. So the ways in which we make exceptions for ourselves in seeking peace or forgiveness, I think that's universal. And when he said that, I thought, of course, I understand that that happens. And that talking about why forgiveness is a good thing is not going to be enough. I think we hold on to our sense of having been wronged because we are protecting our sense of self-worth. It feels as though someone else has not held us as fully worthy, and we're determined to hold ourselves. They won't, I will. So I really want to honor that drive to protect ourselves underlies the part of us that will not go into peace, because peace can only prevail in the world when peace prevails in every heart. And so we sing, let there be peace on earth, let it begin with me. There's nowhere else it can begin. And so what I want to open us to is returning to ourselves, regardless of what other people think, with the awareness that our worth is inherent. Our worth and dignity are inherent, and we can hold that no matter whether we are seen by another in the moment or ever. If we can hold ourselves as fully worthy, we can forgive others and we can also forgive ourselves. Because we hold back on forgiveness and peace, not only because we feel others have wronged us, but because we feel like we've wronged them and we've wronged ourselves by not living up to our values. And probably we have. But that's no reason to hold back from forgiveness and peace. We won't need to project on others, and we won't need to defend from a sense that if I were fully worthy, I would never have made mistakes. That's not a human possibility. but recognizing and bringing compassionate self-awareness to the choices that we've made and how they have broken our sense of peace with ourselves and others, that is always a possibility. It's sometimes said that every minister has one sermon and they preach it over and over again from a different angle. I certainly think that's true. Here's mine. All really is one. Love really is the ground of our being. And all human behavior, without exception, is an expression of beautiful, universal human needs in the best way that we can feel that we might get our needs met in the moment. In the moment, we're choosing the actions or inactions that we believe are possible for us to get our needs met. And the needs themselves are beautiful and universal and never wrong. Conscious divine love is an energy field that is always beaming towards us and towards every person without exception. And that guidance is available if we tune in. And the more we tune in, the more we'll be able to act in ways that meet our human needs, that serve life, that serve us and serve others. So the peace really comes from self-compassion and self-acceptance at a deeper level than we have yet allowed ourselves to feel. And we can align with that love and guidance that is flowing towards us and feel the next movement towards fulfilling our needs. As I was sitting there appreciating the wonderful talk that Dawn gave, the wonderful heartfelt response, I thought, boy, do I really want to say this thing that I was going to say that I would prefer for myself, that we hold silence together and that you express your appreciation that way? And when I checked inside myself, the voice said, yes. So here I am. So there's exposure when you choose to be deeply in touch with yourself and a spirit is moving through you and you let yourself be guided. There is vulnerability, and that's part of what we're here to model as human beings. That vulnerability, that showing up, that uncertainty, and yet I feel like the guidance is this way, so I'm going to go this way, even though I don't know if everyone will like it. We get into anger and self-judgment and judgment of others when we say to ourselves, that should not have happened. That should not have happened. I can't feel peaceful. I can't seek peace for another, with another. I can't seek peace with myself because that should not have happened. And that is simply a flawed way of thinking about what it is to be human. And we can reframe that in our hearts and minds. I want to invite you into a little thought experiment. Imagine that you're walking on a sidewalk, a pretty full sidewalk with people all moving towards something. Maybe the entrance to an event is at the end. Lots of people are walking together. And you're trying to hold your own space, but not take up too much. And suddenly, you're struck from behind on your shoulder. Someone strikes you forcefully. They make a loud sound. Imagine the anger that rises up. You're trying to walk with the crowd, but they've pushed. And then you turn around and you see that that person is collapsing with a heart attack. In a moment, in an instant, your whole understanding of being wronged dissolves. That person was collapsing. And we don't need to make ourselves wrong that arises. But I want to invite us to realize that when we feel suddenly struck from behind, that person is collapsing. that person is in some way contracting into fear, they're contracting into self-protection, and they're reaching for help. We contract into our old fears and our old stories about what the fears mean and about our own self-worth and the worth of others, and that deserves compassion, curiosity, and an openness to seeing so that we can shift the story that we're holding. A couple days ago, I wandered into one of my now favorite places that Sue introduced me to, When Pie Meets Bread. I've influenced them enough that they put a table in front of my favorite sofa. But so I went there, and there was a group of people, and this woman said to me, would you like to join, our senior group? People come in on Friday mornings. I said, well, I'm meeting a friend, but sure, I'll sit down with you for a few moments. So, we got into conversation and so forth. And at one point, I mentioned my support for a certain candidate, and the person I was sitting with said, "Oh, don't talk to me about that. I'm the enemy." And I said, "Not in my book. I'm not willing to hold good people as the enemy who are trying the best they can to think through what's best, not only for themselves, but for our country." And I would wish that none of us would hold those enemy images of one another. And the other woman at the table said, "Well, that's what I want too." I don't think she would have spoken up if I hadn't been the first to say, "Not in my book. I'm not holding you as the enemy. I'm not going to go there." And that felt like my ministry of the moment, the presence I wanted to bring. So I'd like to invite you to consider a stuck situation in your life. How are you collapsing? How are you contracting into fear? And how is the other collapsing and contracting into fear? If we can really remember that all actions are our best attempt in the moment to meet beautiful, universal human needs that every person has, we will respond differently. So I want to just invite you to hold for a moment what some of those core needs are that you and others are always bringing. Needs for love, acceptance, safety, meaning, connection, contribution, inclusion, recognition, self-protection, self-expression, self-worth. These are the beautiful, universal human needs that are driving even those that at some moment we want to call enemy. And we can recognize that the strategies that we or others may choose may really genuinely be causing harm, and we want to take action to try to turn and help society turn in another direction. But we'll do that differently if we recognize the shared universal human needs underneath. So I want to invite you to bring your curiosity, your compassion, your self-affirmation, and ask, what learning is being made available and what do I need to release? So in the spirit of that, I want to invite you into the spiritual practice of a stone communion. If you've been here with me before, you know that I always introduce some kind of spiritual practice so that we can have, or I invite you into, a shared experience together. And what I'm going to invite you to do is to come up, if you feel so moved, to pick up a stone and to place it in the bowl of water. I want to honor the fact that for some of you, some people who are listening, communion does not feel like a safe word. For you, it may be completely neutral or even pleasant, but there are those who were raised in traditions in which they were traumatized, where communion does not feel safe. So I'd like to offer this as an opportunity for healing, if that's the case for you. Because communion is an intentional act of opening to connection. That's what it is. We can choose to be in a moment of communion with our inner being, with a beloved, with a dear friend, with a community, with nature, and with the holy. And we all deserve that. So what I want to invite you to do is to consider for a moment what you would like to release, and see if you can bring your story down to 3 words. And you're not going to speak these words publicly. But in your heart, what's the essence of the story that it would unburden you to release? Many rituals throughout cultures and history have allowed us to dissolve the energy into the earth. Consider that every grain of sand on the beach was once a rock, and it has dissolved and been broken down. So I want to invite you into that. And in a moment, we're going to have some music behind us from our dear friend Shems. And I want to invite you to come up and to pick up a stone as the music plays, and simply to say the words, "I release and let go." And as each person who chooses to come up says those words, "I release and let go," I just invite us to share a blessing by putting our hands on our heart. It is an act of courage to choose to release and let go. It's our opportunity to reframe and heal. There may be some present, and there certainly are some who are not present and who will be hearing this talk now or later, who can't participate physically or choose not to. And at the end, we'll take a moment when I just invite those persons to hold the image of a stone and release it, and we'll honor that as well. So we'll do that towards the end. So I'm going to ring the bell at the beginning and end of this ritual, and as you feel moved to do so, I invite you to stone communion, to come up, pick up a stone, hold it, charge it with what burden you wish to release, and place it into the water. I release and let go. And at the end of this service, I will be taking these stones that are blessed and have become sacred and returning them to the earth in our garden. So, stone communion. larger space of the world. And just take a moment. We invite them and you, in honoring them, to hold that stone, that virtual burden, and to place it with me for them. Blessed as all of these stones are blessed to unburden us, to free us, to lighten us, to open us to the divine moving through. For you, beloveds. For you. Always for you. A moment of prayer. I think Judy's going to join us for a moment of prayer. Spirit of life, source energy of being, conscious love and light, creating, sustaining, transforming power, Holy One, we open our hearts to you. We turn to you. We let go into fully relying on God. We let go into releasing the old stories that have imprisoned us, that we should have been able to foresee all consequences, control what others think and do, or know how life should unfold. We let go into being fully present with awareness and compassion now. And we let go into spaciousness and patience with all that is unknown and unresolved in our hearts. We let go into radical acceptance of ourselves, our beloveds, and all that is. We let go into the relief of asking only for knowledge of holy will for us and the power to carry it out. We let go into the peace of holy presence within and around us now. And we let go into the power of knowing that in God's time, God is opening the way. May we remember that anything that any person has ever done is only one of two things. Either it is an act of love or it is a cry for love. And may we let go into letting peace prevail. Blessed be.
bit of money. Money, 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 yeah. Love, love, love. Some folks think the world is just themselves and their lovers. Others think the world is their turn to suffer. And then there's those who think it's all milk and honey. And a fair amount of folks you know think the world is made out of money. It's really made of love. 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 Just a little bit of money. Some folks think the world is crazy, you know. Seems we work so hard with so little to show. But the world is a garden and you reap what you sow. And if you don't nurture your seed, you can't expect them to grow. Takes a lot of love, 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 love. Maybe a little bit of money. Mama says the best things in life are free. The birds and the berries and you and me. And with our heads in the sky and our feet on the ground, we can twirl in a dance and spin the whole world around. You know it takes a lot of love, 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 love. Yeah, you know, and a little bit of money. Money, 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 money. Love, 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 love. Mama said the best things in life are free, yes. The birds and the berries and you and me. And with our heads in the sky and our feet on the ground, we can spin in a dance and turn this whole world around.
How beautiful, how beautiful. I don't know about you, but when those stones were going into the water bowl, I could just feel the weight of each one leaving us. So I'd like to now invite the ushers, please, to come forward. As I prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love, 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 and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I'm filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I receive. I am so grateful. I I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and during the week. I know that each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, we pray together, and we give thanks for all that this center has been and has blessed us today and always. And so it is. We'll have another song from Shem's thank you, and then a closing from our minister. Thank you.
When I was a kid, I was lucky enough for a while to live in the inner city in Seattle in a neighborhood that had lots of kids in it. And enough so that we could get a game of baseball, or when we had plenty of kids, we'd play Dunkin' Tag. And when we played Dungeon Tag or Kick the Can, sometimes the games would go on and on and on and on. And finally, the person that was it would yell out this song. It goes like this, and some of you have this in your childhood. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Everybody come home free. And that's the chorus on this. So feel free to join in. There we go. Now if I can figure out what's the beginning and what's the end. Oh, this is I kind of forget everything all the time. So I have to remember every time I sit down to play something. Like a lot of us. And I keep things simple. I wish we may, I wish we might, wish on every single star tonight, and wish that all the games of war be over. And in the morning we could sing, you know what's coming. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Everybody come home free. The games are finally over. If all the ups become the downs, and all the lost eventually become the found, then all the circles and the squares can come to match hole to peg. And we can take apart the war machine and live a world that's straight from dreams, planting gardens of delights that bears the fruit of knowing we're all one. Ollie, ollie, oxen free.
you know that I can't help but, as you performed today, I kept visualizing us in a bar. Lights are low. We got our little beanies on. Yeah, we're like beatnik hippies, smoking, drinking. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. You know what a beautiful song, though? Ollie, ollie. When you were singing that, I visualized also the storms that hit our country, hit the islands, all the disruption. I thought, come home free now. May you all come home free and rebuild. We're all together in this. And the wars. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Everyone come home now. Everyone come home. So, Reverend Kat, thank you for opening our hearts to our responsibility to continue to see that happening. And what's so lovely is we've been doing the peace song, so I invite you, if you're comfortable standing, to join in the peace song and think about all the things. Just 1 week, right? Last week, so much happened. And now we come together on a Sunday and we put our hearts together, and once again, we know peace. So everybody, stand if you can, enjoy the song. The words are on the back table if you didn't catch those when you came in. And then please enjoy the bookstore and the social hall. Make connection with one another. You're not alone. And then Johan is available for prayer treatment, and Dawn and I will be at the back table to speak with you. So what a blessed day. So let's sing peace.